Spring starts at the Home Depot, and we are bringing the heat to your backyard this season. Fire up the flavor with our wide variety of grills for under $300, like the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill that's perfect for hosting your spring cookout. Then set the scene and turn your outdoor space into the go-to spot with patio sets for every budget. Bring it this season with grills that deliver flavor and patios that set the vibe from the Home Depot. Start your spring with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Optimal Finance Daily. Stupid or smart? Getting a loan to pay off your debt by Philip Taylor of PTmoney.com. Should you get a loan to pay off debt? In most cases, no. Just because you can get a loan to pay off your debt doesn't mean you should. After all, are you really paying it off by using another loan? What you're doing is delaying the inevitable and/or making the debt a bit less painful to bear, either because you lower the interest rate, payment, or lengthen the time you have to pay it off. But I know there are circumstances where life happens and backs you into a corner, debt-wise. Whether it's a job loss or unexpected medical costs, life can send you in a tailspin and leave you with excessive credit card debt. Most of us have been there. At this point, you can choose to do a couple of different things. First, you need to make sure you stop the bleeding. Find a way to get more income and/or drastically reduce your expenses to live within the means that you do have. If you don't do those things, then you'll be right back here in a few months or years looking for another loan to help you get rid of credit card debt. Next, you can try and tackle this debt yourself by negotiating interest rates with credit cards, developing a debt reduction plan, and basically taking this debt on head first. Like I said, you can use a loan to help you delay or extend the debt payoff process. Here are some loans you could use. Different loans to pay off debt. Number 1, home equity loan. If you own a home and have some equity, your home is worth more than you owe on it, you could tap into that home equity and get a loan for the amount of your debt. Doing so will likely take a high interest debt and reduce it to a lower interest rate. However, you're taking an unsecured debt and turning it into a secured debt. You are putting your home at risk because of some retail spending. Not a good move. Number 2, peer-to-peer loan. Take the banks out of the equation. Borrow some money from an online lending service. Peer-to-peer lending is growing in popularity because of the lack of credit elsewhere and because it makes sense for some people. If you use this type of loan, you'll likely pay less interest over time, and you can extend your monthly payments to a more manageable level. Number 3, personal loan. Some banks or credit unions will give you a personal loan if they can see consistent deposits in your checking account and a steady paycheck. These loans aren't secured, so there's no asset at risk except your checking account. You can likely reduce the amount of interest on your debt significantly by using a personal loan. Number 4, life insurance loan. If you have a life insurance policy with a cash value portion, you can take a loan against those funds to help you pay for the debt. I'm not a fan of this option since it goes against the original goal of the money, to protect your spouse and children. Number 5, debt consolidation loan. Take all of your debt and put it on one payment plan. You have to be careful with these loans because the company who is performing the consolidation for you is in business to make money off of you. In most cases with a debt consolidation, you'll pay more interest over the long term, and it will take you much longer to pay off the debt. Finally, people who consolidate debts this way often find themselves in dangerous levels of debt again. In other words, they don't address the root cause. Number 6, 401k loan. Similar to a life insurance loan, the 401k loan borrows money from a source where the original intent is something other than consolidating debt. For this reason, I'm not a fan of using a 401k loan to help you pay off debt. But these loans are pretty easy to make. Your 401k administrator isn't concerned with what you use the money for. They'll just loan you the money. And when you pay back the money, the minimal interest rate is actually paid to your 401k balance. And number 7, balance transfer. If you can get accepted, you might be able to get a 0% balance transfer credit card. You could do your own consolidation by taking all of your outstanding balances and transferring the debt to one single credit card. In most cases, the new credit card will have a promotional 0% interest rate period and a 3 to 5% fee to make the transfer. I've made this move with success in the past, but it's getting harder and harder to perform this move nowadays. You just listened to the post titled, Stupid or Smart? Getting a Loan to Pay Off Your Debt by Philip Taylor of ptmoney.com. When you're ready to start a business, there's so much more to it than just filing paperwork. You need a business address, a website, a phone number, an operating agreement, basically a complete business identity. And Northwest Registered Agent helps you build all of that from day one. Northwest Registered Agent has been helping small business owners and entrepreneurs launch and grow businesses for nearly 30 years. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in the U.S., with over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know your local laws and can help you and your business every step of the way. Plus, your home address, personal email, and phone number stay private. No upsells, no selling your data. Don't pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for what you can get from Northwest for free. Visit northwestregisteredagent.com/OFD free and start using free resources to build something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at northwestregisteredagent.com/OFD free.
America leads the world in medicine development. It matters. We get new medicines first, nearly 3 years faster. 5 million Americans go to work because we make medicines here at home. And not relying on other countries keeps us safe. But China is racing to overtake us. Will we let them, or will we choose to stay ahead? When America leads, America cures. Let's tell Washington to keep us in the lead.
Learn how at americacures.com. Paid for by pharma.
When I was digging out of 30 grand of debt, I believe there was a short period of time where I consolidated some debt on a 0% introductory APR credit card. But I didn't go this route until I was sure I had my spending under control and I was serious about paying off my debt. I think the first order of business when you're addressing debt payoff is to use a debt reduction calculator to come up with a plan of attack. This will require that you become hyper aware of the gap that you have between your income and expenses, because you need to tell the calculator how much you can throw at your debt each month. Once you have that well underway and you've proven to yourself that you can work the plan, then you can start looking at strategies to expedite the timeline. If you got into debt due to not paying attention, like I did, then shortcuts will likely backfire. The reason is that you need to have a deep mindset shift and a shift in your spending and money management habits in order to avoid making the same mistakes in the future. Shortcuts might help you get out of debt quicker, but your habits will inevitably land you back in debt eventually. By digging out of debt the quote-unquote hard way, you'll be learning what you need to know to stay out of debt and start building wealth. But that'll do it for this episode. Have a happy rest of your day, and I'll be back with you again tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.